So I made a video, 5 reasons why I think you should buy the Legion Go. And I mentioned in that video that I have a love and hate relationship with this thing. Okay, so it's only right that I do a 5 reasons not to buy this device. I did say it does have a lot of potential, but I didn't spend $800 for potential, okay? I'm not a sports GM trying to find the next Jordan. All right, I'm a consumer that spent $800 and I want what the product was intended to be. Okay, and I think we are not there yet with this product, at least. Now I know some of you might get upset about it, but you need to understand, okay, no device is perfect, first of all, and then second of all, what's a deal breaker for somebody else might not be the same for you. We're all different. My job is just to keep it real and give an honest opinion of what I think about the device. Now, one thing I do want to mention is the battery life, kind of like an honorable mention. Now there are ways to configure this so that you could get longer battery life, but in general, you know, if you're just trying to use this thing to its best power, you know, full resolution, performance mode, you're playing a triple A title game, the battery life is terrible. Okay, I could last longer with a Playmate. Okay, no, but seriously, it's you'll get lucky to get like an hour, maybe an hour and a half in there. Okay, so the sessions, they're not that long and it just drains very quickly. So I thought it's not something that can't be changed, you know, depending on the type of user you are. If you're playing indie games, you don't care about full resolution, you're okay with like 60 frames, 30 to 60 frames, you could prolong this battery life, which is why I didn't put it on the list, but it's still, I think it's something that everybody should know. All right, without further ado, let's jump into this. Reason number one is going to be comfortability. At first glance, you know, the device does seem like it's going to be comfortable because these grips are actually solid to hold onto the device. But once you use this device for an extended period of time, you will realize you do get fatigue. You know, it's a little bit heavier. I mean, it's not 20 pounds or anything, but over time, holding the device straight up to your face, you know, it gets tiring. And then, as you've heard, these little edges over here, they do dig into your palms, and you'll constantly be making adjustments. You know, you'll be moving. There's ways to make it more comfortable, but in just general use where you're holding the device like you do majority of handhelds, you're going to realize that this is going to be an uncomfortable device to play with. You're going to have to either set it down on your chest, or you could use this kickstand on a table. But even then, if you're playing like this, you're probably slouched down a little bit. The FPS mode, again, you know, unless you have a table where this is the same height as your face, which would kind of be awkward to use the mouse with. You know, you're kind of slouched down, your head is forward, and again, it's bad posture. And overall, I would probably give it a 2.5, 3 out of 5 in terms of comfortability. Reason number two, 2 words: Windows 11. Reason number three, no, I'm just kidding. So Windows 11, I personally think it gets a bad rep because I think it's snappy and easy to navigate. It's honestly not as bad as people make it seem, especially the touch experience. You know, I haven't had any issues in regards to jumping through menus, and it's super responsive. So I have no issues on that side. My main gripe with this thing is the software on top of Windows, which is Legion Space. And I just think it's bad. I think it's terrible. It looks like somebody that's helping you try to stream illegal cable, they built this software, okay? I think it needs the complete rehaul, you know, from the colors to the buttons, from the app itself to the side menu, okay? There's just so much that it should have never been released like this, okay? I barely use Legion Space at all. The only thing I'm using is that side menu, and that side menu is abysmal. Okay, I don't even know what this word means, but I know that it applies. The settings that you want aren't necessarily there at your fingertips, and it doesn't have as many settings as I think it should. I find it difficult to navigate through. I think it's super finicky. When you open up the side menu, sometimes, first of all, it won't open depending on the game that you're playing. Okay, and sometimes it'll open and minimize your game. Okay, and the one thing that really annoys me is when it's open and you're navigating through the side menu, it's not taking precedent over the game. You are actually moving inside the game as you're moving in the menu, you know. So if you're pressing A on the menu, you're pressing A in the game. If you're going up and down on the D-pad, you're going up and down on the game, you know, and that could cause some inputs that you don't want, you know. So just little things like that. You know, with these gaming handhelds, at the end of the day, you want to just jump in and play your games as quickly as possible, set your settings quickly, and not have to worry about glitches or closing, opening, and that's something that they haven't perfected yet. Okay, next up, and probably my biggest deal breaker, is going to be the controller layout. I just don't think the layout is ideal, especially the back buttons. Currently, I don't even think there's a way to map them, but in all reality, I don't even think I'd want to map them just because of how easy they are to click in. I mean, there is no resistance on these things. You're clicking it, and especially if you're in an intense game where you're kind of moving quick, you're going to be pressing those buttons. So I, even if I'm able to map these, I would probably just not do it because I'll probably mess up my game when I'm playing. When you're holding the handheld in handheld mode like this, you might get used to not clicking them. Like, I've learned not to click them a lot over time. However, as soon as you have it in dock mode, or where you pull these Joy-Cons, the clicking you're even more prone to it because now you're gripping the entire controller, and then as I was saying, the layout in general, um, on the left side, I think it's fine. I really wish they would have done the same on the right stick. I understand that they use this for the FPS mode, but I really think that it would have been better if they were in the same position. I could have used these two fingers rather than having to like use my mouse or my thumb hand to try to reach over. Um, this button right here is linked with the right bumper, and as of right now, they don't have a way to shut it off. So when you're playing, you could easily click this button. It's been my biggest annoyance. Has been this button. I've gotten better, but it is an issue that I wish they had fixed. The Joy Cons, I think they're good Joy Cons. They are a little small, so the range is short to get to one side to the other, so it's harder to be precise with these Joy-Cons. The D-pad, I think, I'm not a fan of the D-pad. I think it's too stiff. Uh, I've used it in some emulations, and it's okay. I mean, it's doable, but I don't prefer it over any D-pad that I've used in a bunch of handhelds. The buttons are fine. I have no issues with the buttons. The touchpad is great. I can't complain there. I I hate the way they put their Legion buttons at the top right here. It's just so natural to press those as a start and select buttons. So I'm constantly pulling up the Legion space menu when I don't want to. So that's a little bit annoying as well. And then the scroll wheel, I honestly have not used it. I don't think it's in that bad of a position when you're playing in FPS mode. You're going to be holding it like this. I think it's all right. But overall, I think this is the biggest flaw of the device. I think they could have done a better job with the layout and the materials. Reason number 4 is going to be user friendliness. So the device is not for those of you that don't like to tinker. Okay, you're going to have to make adjustments and do things you may have never even done on a computer. For example, I had to go into the BIOS and update the VRAM of this device. I don't know what I just said, but I did that. Okay, it's going to be something that you're going to do quite often to try to fully optimize this thing. And not everyone is going to want to tinker. I personally hate to tinker that much unless I want to, but for this device, whether you want to or not, you're going to have to be messing with things, which could be going into that BIOS and making adjustments to like the VRAM, or setting up your resolution and TDP. You're going to be constantly tinkering with this until you get it perfect, and each game is going to be different. It's not a plug and play handheld, and if that's what you're looking for, this device might not be for you. The last reason I'm calling this the master of none. I'm sure you've heard the term jack of all trades, master of none. Essentially what it's saying is someone that's good at a lot of things but not great at anything, and that's the way to describe this device. And it's something that's actually could be a plus. It does a lot of things well, but it does nothing great. It could be a laptop, but it's not as great as a laptop. It doesn't come with a physical keyboard, mouse. The screen is not that big for a laptop, but it could be used as a laptop. It could be used as a tablet, but it's not the best tablet. It's pretty thick and heavy. And the screen size, you could get bigger tablets. It's an okay tablet. It could be used as a gaming handheld, but it's not the best gaming handheld. It doesn't give you the console-like experience like the Steam Deck. They've got that software down, and I know it took them some time to get to this point, but that's what the Steam Deck focuses on. It is a gaming handheld before it is a computer. Whereas the Legion Go, it's a little bit of everything. You know, it's not necessarily a gaming handheld just because it's got the controllers, yeah, but the software enables it to do so much more. And you know, if you're just looking for a gaming handheld and you just want to jump in, jump out of games without tinkering too much, you know, this might not be the device for you. All right, so those were my 5 reasons. You know, I want to thank everybody for watching. You know, all the love that you guys show me on my other video, you know, with all the likes. I ain't even have to beg for likes yet. Okay, I'm hoping to keep it that way because I might start. I'm not opposed to begging, you know what I mean? But I'm definitely going to be churning out more videos, especially on this thing. If you guys watch my initial impressions, I did buy this to eventually return it. I kind of wanted to do a review on it, and I didn't know if I was going to keep it. So I'll have a final impressions of it, whether I'm going to keep it or not. And then I'll probably do a comparison with the Steam Deck because I do own the Steam Deck. And then I know a lot of you guys wanted me to do emulations video, so I'll walk you guys through how to set up emulations, the easiest route that I found to get, you know, old games on there. So again, thanks for watching, really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.